Excel 2016, Module 8, pages 474 through 480. Okay, on page 474, read about using the dated if function to calculate employee age in the Insight blue box. Then move over to page 475 and read about the OR function. Okay, we've done if, and now we're up to OR. You have to make sure that you read this. I just cannot tell you that enough. Okay, read this before you move on. Okay, then you need to read page 470. I know, it's like so much, right? 476, 477. Okay, you've got to read all of this. Now, on the top of page 477, you see a nice little formula written for you. It says if or. So or means one of these two has to be true. So if H2 equals Bonham or H2 equals Graham, then you do what it tells you to do in the rest of the formula. Okay? So just make sure that you can read that, all right? Then read about using structured references to create formulas in Excel tables. And when you're done with that, raise your right hand, swear you actually read it before you move on. And then we'll be at the top of page 478. To calculate the salary increase using the if and or functions, in cell M1, enter salary increase as the column header and press your enter key. Make sure that cell M2 is the active cell. Okay? And we're going to go to our Insert Function button. And we're going to want an if, because that's what we're working on in this chapter. Okay. Take a look at step number 4. And whenever it's in yellow, that's a big fat warning. And this time, they're warning you about those square brackets. You have to be really careful, right? And you have to do everything exactly like it says in the book, or it just comes back with a big fat error message. Take my word for it. It may have taken me a few takes on these videos to get it right. All right, so we're going to type or, open paren, open square bracket, store. See, I'm stopping right now and I'm checking them already. Close square bracket, equals, quote, bottom, and I know you right now, this is going to be huge, so I'm going to make that bigger. Okay, so I put in bottom, quote, comma, right, open square bracket, store, close square bracket, equals, quote, Graham, close parentheses. All right, the first thing I need to do is see my parentheses. I have one, I have two. I have two square brackets, I have two square brackets there. I've got two sets of quotes, and I've got two sets of quotes. So these are the things you need to be looking for, and a comma in between. All right, got that in? This logical test evaluates whether the employee works in the Bonham store or works in the Graham store. Okay, step number 5. We already did that. We collapsed and we opened so that you can see the whole thing, right? I already taught you to do that a few pages back. Now, in the value if true box, this one, sadly, we don't just get to type yes this time. All right, this is what we're going to type. Open square bracket, current salary times 0.035. Okay. Open square bracket, current salary, square bracket times 0.035, and then press your tab key. This argument specifies that if the logical test is true, the employee is eligible for the 3.5% increase. The amount in the employee's salary cell is multiplied by 3.5%. The salary increases for all employees beginning in row 2, whose logical test is true, appear to the right of the value of true box. So you've got a big boatload of numbers sitting there. It's okay, don't worry about it. If something bad happened, the first thing I want you to check up here is your spelling. Because if you make the tiniest spelling error, everything's going to fail, right? Then you want to always check your punctuation. You heard when I was saying, when I was counting, I have 2 squares here, I have 2 square brackets there, I've got my parentheses, I'm looking for my commas, okay? So check all that stuff when you have a mistake. It's usually something really simple. Step number 8, in the value if false box, type, okay, open bracket, current salary, close. Okay, so it's the same thing, only this time it's going to be, can we cheat and copy this? Is that bad? I don't feel bad. In fact, I feel really good. Okay, so it's the exact same thing, right? I actually want to check and make sure that is the exact same thing. Open bracket, current salary, close bracket, times 0.025, right? Because the only thing I was changing was that 2. So I am trying to reduce my margin for error in my typing by copying the same thing down and just changing that to a 2. This argument specifies that if the logical test is false, the employee is not eligible for the 3.5% salary increase. The amount of the employee's salary cell is multiplied by 2.5%. The salary increases for all employees beginning in row 2 whose logical test is false appear to the right of the value if false box. And again, you should see a big boatload of numbers. All right, here it is. Are you ready? Click OK. Cross your fingers. Yes, no error message, and look at all those babies pop up. That's what we want to see. Now, if you did get an error message and it didn't work, just go back and find that mistake, okay? Because in step number 9, they show you the whole formula. Okay, the whole thing is there. So you can take a look at it and you can check your punctuation and your spelling, because it really is usually something very, very simple, like you spelled bottom wrong. Okay, so go through. If you had an error, this is a time to stop and fix it. All right, position the pointer at the top of cell M1. Okay, select this column. Select column M, right? Format the range with the accounting style in 2 decimal places. Okay, you know how to do all that. That's like such old hat by now, right? And then, of course, you have to auto-fit the cell. Just get on that cell border and double click. Correct? Correct. Okay, go ahead and deselect so that you can take a look and see it all. And you are ready to save your file and move on to your next video.